Okay, it's time to start some questions. First exercise, first question. It says, Aftab tells his daughter, 7 years ago, I was 7 times as old as you were then. Also, 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. Represent this situation algebraically and graphically. This question says, Aftab tells his daughter, 7 years ago, his age was 7 times more than her age, and after 3 years, his age would be 3 times more than her age. Now we have these two situations, 7 years ago and 3 years after. We have to represent this situation algebraically, and then we have to put that into a graph. Let's suppose Aftab and his daughter's age as x and y. I'll write present age of Aftab. Say that is x. Present age of daughter, say y. So before 7 years, I'll write age before 7 years would be x minus 7, and age before 7 years for the daughter would be y minus 7. I'll write age after 3 years would be x plus 3. Age after 3 years of daughter would be y plus 3. So if current age is say x and y, before 7 years, Aftab's age would be x minus 7. Before 7 years, daughter's age, y minus 7. From current age, after 3 years, x plus 3, y plus 3. Now, it says 7 years ago, Aftab's age was 7 times more than daughter's age. Means x minus 7 is already 7 times more than y minus 7. So now, to equate x minus 7 and y minus 7, x minus 7, y minus 7, to equate this, if I multiply daughter's age by 7, Aftab's age and daughter's age would be equal. I put it this way. Suppose before 7 years, daughter's age was say 10 years and Aftab's age was say 70 years. So if I multiply daughter's age by 7, 10 into 7 will give you 70. Aftab is already 70. So this will give me x minus 7 equals to 7y minus 49. So x minus 7y would be minus 49 plus 7, which is x minus 7y equals to minus 42. So that's the first equation. Second equation, after 3 years, x plus 3 and y plus 3. It says after 3 years, Aftab would be 3 times more than his daughter. Means Aftab's this age, x plus 3, is already 3 times more than daughter's age. So if I multiply daughter's age by 3, means if I increase daughter's age 3 times, she would be equal to her father's age. So x plus 3 equals to 3y plus 9. X minus 3y would be 9 minus 3. X minus 3y would be 6. That's the second equation. So x minus 7y equals to minus 42. X minus 3y equals to 6. That's my algebraic representation of this situation. Now I have to put this into graph. Let's put this into this format. Minus 7y equals to minus 42 minus x. So 7y would be, I take negative as common, so this would be 42 plus x. So y would be 42 plus x over 7. This would be minus 3y equals to 6 minus x. So I can write it as minus 3y equals to, I take negative as common, so this would be minus 6 plus x. This and this cancelled, so 3y would be minus 6 plus x. I take x in the front, so x minus 6. So y would be x minus 6 over 3. So I have y equals to 42 plus x over 7. Y equals to x minus 6 over 3. Now let's present them into the graph. I have this equation: x minus 7y equals to negative 42, x minus 3y equals to 7, which is y is equal to 42 plus x over 7, and y is equal to x minus 6 over 3. Let's take some x values, which will give me y1 and y2 both. I'll take such values for x here, which will ease my calculation. So let's start with 7. So now I have all these x values. I cannot take x as 0 because age cannot be 0. I cannot take any negative values because age cannot be negative. Now, if I put these values here in place of x, this will give me y values. These are my x values. Replace this x with these values, you will get y values here, this y. I represent this as y1. Now let's replace this x with these x values and get the y2 values. These are y2 from this equation. Okay. This blue line representing this y1, this orange line representing this y2. Now you can see the place where y1 and y2 they are intersecting is my y is 12 and x is 42. It says x 42 and y 12. When x is 42, y is 12. So this coordinate of x and y will give me the present age of Aftab and his daughter. Aftab's age would be 42 and her daughter's age would be 12. So this was the graphical representation of this equation, or graphical representation of the situation where we had Aftab and his daughter's age. This equation here and this equation here from this situation, they are algebraic representation, and this here was the graphic representation of that situation. Done? This question here, it says the coach of a cricket team buys 3 bats and 6 balls for rupees 3,900. Later, she buys another bat and 3 more balls for the same kind for rupees 1,300. Represent this situation algebraically and geometrically. Now if I say a bat is for say x rupees per piece, I'll say bat is x rupees per piece and ball is say y rupees per piece. Now it says coach buys 3 bats and 6 balls. 3 bats plus 6 balls. Bat is x rupees per piece and ball is y rupees per piece. And total she pays 3,900. That's my first equation. Second equation says later she buys another bat, one more bat. 1 bat plus 3 more balls. 3 balls, x and y. X rupees per piece, y rupees per piece, and pays 1,300. Second equation. Now it is x plus 3y equals to 1,300, and this is 3x plus 6y equals to 3,900. This can be written as, if I take 3 as common, x plus 2y equals to 3,900. So x plus 2y equals to 1,300. So x plus 2y is equal to 1,300, my first equation. X plus 3y equals to 1,300 is my second equation. So that's the algebraic representation. Let's move into graphic representation. For that I need 2y is equal to 1,300 minus x. So y would be 1,300 minus x over 2, and this would be 3y equals to 1,300 minus x. So y would be 1,300 minus x over 3. So now I can represent both these equations into the graph. So I have this equation here, which is x plus 3y is equal to 1,300, which gave me y is equal to 1,300 minus x over 3. This equation here, x plus 2y is equal to 1,300, which gave me y is equal to 1,300 minus x over 2. So now let's put both these equations into the graph. Let's take some x values, which will give me y1 and then y2. Let's take some easier values. I start with smaller value 0 and I take 400. This 400 will make my calculation easier. 1300 minus 400 will give me 900, and I can divide 900 by 3 easily. So let's take a similar kind of value. Let's take 700. Let's take 1000. Let's take 1300 also. So this y1 would be, if I replace this x with 0, this would be 1300 over 3. If I replace this x with 400, this would be 900 over 3. So likewise, I have this line here. Let's look into this y2. Replace all these x values here in this x. Okay. So I have these values here for x, which gave me y1 and then y2. And from this table, I have this graph here, which is a little bit funny graph. I can see from this graph the only point where y1 and y2 means this and this, they are intersecting is this point here, where y is 0, y1 and y2 both are 0 here, and x is 1300, which gives me an answer which says ball should be free of cost and bat should be 1300 rupees each. So this was the graphical representation, and this one here is the algebraic representation. Similar type of question which says the cost of 2 kgs of apples and 1 kg of grapes on a day was found to be 160 rupees. After a month, the cost of 4 kgs of apple and 2 kgs of grapes is rupees 300. Represent the situation algebraically and geometrically. Okay. Let's take apples as x rupees per kg. I'll write apples as x rupees per kg and grapes as y rupees per kg. It says 2 kgs of apple and 1 kg of grapes. So 2 kgs means 2 into x, 2 kgs multiplied with x rupees per kg plus 1 kg of grapes. So in place of 1, I write nothing, I just write y. Means 1 kg of grapes at the rate of y rupees per kg. Total amount comes to be 160. So that's the first equation. Here, cost of 4 kgs of apple, 4 kgs of apple at the rate of x rupees per kg plus 2 kgs of grapes at the rate of 5 rupees per kg comes to be 300. That's the second equation. So this is my algebraic expression of this situation. Let's get into geometric. So y would be 160 minus 2x here. So 2y would be 300 minus 4x. Y would be 300 minus 4x over 2. This one here and this one here will give me geometric expression. This is first equation, 2x plus y is equal to 160, which gave me y is equal to 160 minus 2x. Second equation, 4x plus 2y equals to 300, which gave me y is equal to 300 minus 4x over 2. Now let's take some x values, which will give me y values and y2. So I'll start with smaller values like 10, 20, and then plot these values here in this x. It gives me these many numbers here, y1 values. Now let's do the same thing with this x. Replace this x with these values here. All these values from 20, 30, 40 and 50. Now let's try to put this table into the graph. So this is the graph where blue line representing this y1 and this orange line representing y2. Okay, I can see both the lines are parallel lines, means no solution here. So this was my graphic representation here, and this is my algebraic expression of this situation. Alright, now this question here, it says form the pair of linear equations in the following problems and find their solutions graphically. We have this problem here which says 10 students of class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. Now we have to solve this question graphically. Means we have to form linear equations, put them into the graph and get the solutions. First of all, let's form the linear equation. I'll take boys say as x and girls as say y. X numbers, y numbers. Means x plus y is equal to 10. That's my first equation. It says 10 students of class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz, means total x plus y should be 10. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, means this number y or the number of girls is already 4 more than total number of boys. Means if I have to equate x and y, this y is already 4 more than the number of boys. So if I add 4 here, number of boys and number of girls would be equal. So this would be x minus y would be minus 4. That's my second equation. To put them into graph, I need y is equal to 10 minus x. This would be minus y is equal to minus 4 minus x. Let's try to cancel negative sign from here. So I'll take negative y is equal to negative common 4 plus x. This is cancelled. So y is equal to 4 plus x or x plus 4. So I have y is equal to 10 minus x and y is equal to x plus 4. Let's put them into graph. So now I have this graph here, x plus y is equal to 10, which gave me y is equal to 10 minus x, and x minus y is equal to negative 4, where y is equal to x plus 4. Let's take some x values. Please be careful, x cannot be more than 10 and less than 0, and it has to be only into natural or whole number, because we are talking about number of boys and girls. Boys cannot be 1.1 or negative 1. It has to be 1 or 0 or always natural or whole number. So I'll start with 0. Let's take total 10. So I have 0 to 10 boys. Now let's replace these x values here in this equation and in this equation here. I replace this x with 0, it gives me 10 minus 0 is equal to 10. Let's do the same thing with this equation here. I have these x values from 0 to 10, and I have y1 values, and I have y2 values. Okay. And this is the graph here. Now from this graph, you can see the point of intersection, which is x is 3 and y is 7. Y is this value 7 and x is this between 2 and 4, halfway between 2 and 4. So x is 3 and y is 7. Means 3 numbers of boys and 7 numbers of girls would be the common value for these two equations. If you replace 3 here for x and 7 for y, you will get 3 plus 7 as 10. If you replace 3 here for x, 7 for y, you will get negative 4. It means 3 and 7 is the answer for this question here. From this table also you can find out this value here. When x is 3, y1 is 7, y2 is also 7. So 3 will give you y1 as 7, y2 as 7. So it means 3 and 7, that's the point of intersection in this graph here. I'll put it this way. Point of intersection is 3, 7. Means x is 3 and y is 7. So answer is 3 boys and 7 girls. We have taken x for boys and y for girls. So 3 boys and 7 girls. That's the answer for this question here, found out through graphical representation. Alright. Now this question here, it says, form the pair of linear equations in the following problems and find their solutions graphically. We have this problem here which says 10 students of class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. Now we have to solve this question graphically. Means we have to form linear equations, put them into the graph and get the solutions. First of all, let's form the linear equation. I'll take boys say as x and girls as say y. X numbers, y numbers. Means x plus y is equal to 10. That's my first equation. It says 10 students of class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz, means total x plus y should be 10. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, means this number y or the number of girls is already 4 more than total number of boys. Means If I have to equate x and y, this y is already 4 more than the number of boys. So if I add 4 here, number of boys and number of girls would be equal. So this would be x minus y would be minus 4. That's my second equation. To put them into graph, I need y is equal to 10 minus x. This would be minus y is equal to minus 4 minus x. Let's try to cancel negative sign from here. So I'll take negative y is equal to negative common 4 plus x. This is cancelled. So y is equal to 4 plus x or x plus 4. So I have y is equal to 10 minus x and y is equal to x plus 4. Let's put them into graph. So now I have this graph here, x plus y is equal to 10, which gave me y is equal to 10 minus x, and x minus y is equal to negative 4, where y is equal to x plus 4. Let's take some x values. Please be careful, x cannot be more than 10 and less than 0, and it has to be only into natural or whole number, because we are talking about number of boys and girls. Boys cannot be 1.1 or negative 1. It has to be 1 or 0 or always natural or whole number. So I'll start with 0. Let's take total 10. So I have 0 to 10 boys. Now let's replace these x values here in this equation and in this equation here. I replace this x with 0, it gives me 10 minus 0 is equal to 10. Let's do the same thing with this equation here. I have these x values from 0 to 10, and I have y1 values, and I have y2 values. Okay. And this is the graph here. Now from this graph, you can see the point of intersection, which is x is 3 and y is 7. Y is this value 7 and x is this between 2 and 4, halfway between 2 and 4. So x is 3 and y is 7. Means 3 numbers of boys and 7 numbers of girls would be the common value for these two equations. If you replace 3 here for x and 7 for y, you will get 3 plus 7 as 10. If you replace 3 here for x, 7 for y, you will get negative 4. It means 3 and 7 is the answer for this question here. From this table also you can find out this value here. When x is 3, y1 is 7, y2 is also 7. So 3 will give you y1 as 7, y2 as 7. So it means 3 and 7, that's the point of intersection in this graph here. I'll put it this way. Point of intersection is 3, 7. Means x is 3 and y is 7. So answer is 3 boys and 7 girls. We have taken x for boys and y for girls. So 3 boys and 7 girls. That's the answer for this question here, found out through graphical representation. Alright. This question here, it says, form the pair of linear equations in the following problems and find their solutions graphically. We have this question here which says 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost rupees 40, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46. Find the cost of 1 pencil and that of 1 pen. So we have to find out the cost of 1 pencil and 1 pen through graphical representation. So let's take pencil as x rupees and pen as say y rupees. It says 5 pencil means 5 pencil at the rate of x rupees plus 7 pens at the rate of y rupees cost me total 50. First equation, 7 pencils at the rate of x plus 5 pens at the rate of y cost me 46. That's my second equation. So this would be 7y is equal to 50 minus 5x. So y would be 50 minus 5x over 7. Here 5y equals to 46 minus 7. So y would be 46 minus 7x over 5. So I have these y values. Let's put them into the graph. So I have this equation 5x plus 7y is equal to 50. which gave me y is equal to 50 minus 5x over 7. And this equation 7x plus 5y equals to 46, which gave me y is equal to 46 minus 7x over 5. Now I have these x values here, smaller values from 0 to 5. Replacing this x with these x values gave me these y values. Replacing this x with the same x values here gave me these y2 values. Now I take this table and plot this here into the chart. It gave me these two intersecting lines. Now, these two lines, the place where they are intersecting is, you can see here, x is 3 and y is 5. So 3 for x and 5 for y. You can see in the table also, when we have x as 3, y1 and y2 both are same. So point of intersection would be the answer for this question through this graph. So I'll write this way. Point of intersection is 3, 5. So answer would be, pencil is x, so pencil would be 3 rupees per piece, and pen would be, pen is y, so y is 5, so it would be 5 rupees per piece. That's the answer for this question through the graph. This question here, it says, form the pair of linear equations in the following problems and find their solutions graphically. We have this question here, it says 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost rupees 40, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46. Find the cost of one pencil and that of one pen. So we have to find out the cost of one pencil and one pen through graphical representation. So let's take pencil as x rupees and pen as say y rupees. It says 5 pencil means 5 pencil at the rate of x rupees plus 7 pens at the rate of y rupees cost me total 50. First equation, 7 pencils at the rate of x plus 5 pens at the rate of y cost me 46. That's my second equation. So this would be 7y is equal to 50 minus 5x. So y would be 50 minus 5x over 7. Here 5y equals to 46 minus 7. So y would be 46 minus 7x over 5. So I have these y values. Let's put them into the graph. So I have this equation 5x plus 7y is equal to 50, which gave me y is equal to 50 minus 5x over 7. And this equation 7x plus 5y equals to 46, which gave me y is equal to 46 minus 7x over 5. Now I have these x values here, smaller values from 0 to 5. Replacing this x with these x values gave me these y values. Replacing this x with the same x values here gave me these y2 values. Now I take this table and plot this here into the chart. It gave me these two intersecting lines. Now, these two lines, the place where they are intersecting is, you can see here, x is 3 and y is 5. So 3 for x and 5 for y. You can see in the table also, when we have x as 3, y1 and y2 both are same. So point of intersection would be the answer for this question through this graph. So I'll write this way. Point of intersection is 3, 5. So answer would be, pencil is x, so pencil would be 3 rupees per piece, and pen would be, pen is y, so y is 5, so it would be 5 rupees per piece. That's the answer for this question through the graph. This question here, it says, on comparing the ratios a1 over a2, b1 over b2 and c1 over c2, find out whether lines representing the following pairs of linear equations intersect at a point, or they are parallel, or they are coincident lines. Means we have these three pairs of linear equations. We have to find out through these ratios that when we plot these equations into the graph, the lines which these equations will give, whether those lines will be intersecting lines, parallel, or coincident. The first one here, we know that what to do. First of all, 5x minus 4y, this negative 8 comes this side, positive 8 is equal to 0. Then 7x plus 6y minus 9 equals to 0. So both the equations are equal to 0. Quickly, A1, A2, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So A1 is 5, A2 is 7, B1 is negative 4, negative 4, B2 is 6, C1 is 8, C2 is negative 9. Okay. A1 over A2, 5 over 7, B1 over 8, B2, negative 4 over 6, C1 over C2, 8 over 9, negative. Okay. So here, this is A1 over A2 is not equal to B1 over B2. This is 5 over 7. This is negative 2 over 3, which is not equal. It means this is intersecting lines. This one here, 9x plus 3y plus 12 equals to 0. 18x plus 6y plus 24 equals to 0. A1 over A2, 9 over 18 means 1 over 2. B1 over B2, 3 over 6 means 1 over 2. C1 over C2, 12 over 24, 1 over 2. So all are equal. A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2 is equal to C1 over C2. Means coincident lines. So this equation will give me coincident lines. Let's look into this one here. 6x minus 3y plus 10 equals to 0. 2x minus y plus 9 equals to 0. A1 over A2 means 6 over 2. B1 over B2 means negative 3 over negative 1, which is 3 over 1. C1 over C2, 10 over 9. So this is 3 means A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2 but not equal to C1 over C2. This gives me parallel lines. So first one, intersecting at one point. Second one, coincident, and third one, parallel lines. Done? This question here, almost same what we have just completed. From the ratios of A1 over A2, B1 over B2, C1 over C2, we have to find out whether these pairs of linear equations give me consistent or inconsistent solutions. Means these equations are consistent or inconsistent. So here we have to find out consistent or inconsistent. There is only one ratio which makes these equations as inconsistent, that is parallel lines. So if I get parallel lines, then only it is inconsistent. Otherwise, in other two cases, intersecting or coincident, they will be consistent. So let's find them out. 3x plus 2y negative 5 equals to 0. 2x minus 3y negative 7 equals to 0. A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. A1 is 3, A2 is 2, B1 is 2, B2 is negative 3, C1 is negative 5, C2 is negative 7. So A1 over A2, 3 over 2, B1 over B2, 2 over 3 negative, C1 over C2, negative 5 over negative 7, which is 3 over 2 is not equal to. So when A1 over A2 is not equal to B1 over B2, we don't need to check for C1, C2 because this gives me intersecting lines, means consistent. As I said in the beginning, intersecting and coincident both will be consistent. The only condition which is parallel will give me inconsistent lines. This one here, I'll write this 2x minus 3y minus 8 equals to 0. 4x minus 6y minus 9 equals to 0. Do not forget to equate both the equations to 0. So A1 over A2, 1 over 2, 2 over 4 means 1 over 2. B1 over B2, negative 3 over negative 6, which is 1 over 2. C1 over C2, negative 8 over negative 9, which is 8 over 9. So A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2, but not equal to C1 over C2. This gives me parallel lines, means inconsistent. This one here, 3 over 2x plus 5 over 3y negative 7 equals to 0. 9x minus 10y minus 14 equals to 0. A1 over A2, 3 over 2 into 1 over 9, which is 1 over 6. B1 over B2, 5 over 3 into 1 over 10 negative, which is 1 over 6 negative. Now here A1 over A2 is not equal to B1 over B2. So no need to check for C1, C2. This will give me intersecting lines, means consistent equation. This one here, 5x minus 3y minus 11 equals to 0, minus 10x plus 6y plus 22 equals to 0. Negative 22 goes this side. So A1 over A2, 5 over 10 negative, B1 over B2, 3 over 6 negative, C1 over C2, 11 over 22 negative. So this is 1 over 2 negative, 1 over 2, 1 over 2. So A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2 is equal to C1 over C2, means coincident lines, means consistent. This one here, 4 over 3x plus 2y minus 8 equals to 0, 2x plus 3y negative 12 equals to 0. So A1 over A2 means 4 over 3 into 1 over 2, which is 2 over 3. B1 over B2, 2 over 3. C1 over C2, negative 8 over negative 12, which is 2 over 3. So I have A1 over A2 equals to B1 over B2 equals to C1 over C2, means coincident lines, means consistent solution. So all 5 done. This question here, it says, which of the following pairs of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent? We have these 4 pairs of linear equations. We have to find out whether they are consistent or inconsistent. We'll find them out through the ratio method. And if at all they are found consistent, we have to find the solutions graphically. Means we have to plot them into the graph and see what is the solution for that equation. Let's find out which is consistent, which is inconsistent. So I'll write this: x plus y minus 5 equals to 0 and 2x plus 2y minus 10 equals to 0. So a1 over a2 is 1 over 2, b1 over b2 1 over 2, c1 over c2 1 over 2. So all are equal. A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2 is equal to C1 over C2. So this will give me consistent equations. I'll write consistent. This one here, x minus y minus 8 equals to 0, 3x minus 3y minus 16 equals to 0. So A1 over A2, 1 over 3. B1 over B2, negative 1 over negative 3, which is 1 over 3. C1 over C2, which is negative 8 over negative 16, which is 1 over 2. So this is equal, this is not equal. So this gives me parallel lines, means inconsistent. This one here, 2x plus y minus 6 equals to 0. 4x minus 2y minus 4 equals to 0. A1 over A2, 2 over 4 means 1 over 2. B1 over B2, 1 over 2 negative, which is not equal. So this will give me intersecting lines, means consistent. Let's look into this one. 2x minus 2y minus 2 equals to 0. 4x minus 4y minus 5 equals to 0. So a1 over a2, 1 over a1 over a2, 2 over 4 means 1 over 2. b1 over b2, negative 2 over negative 4 means 1 over 2. c1 over c2, negative 2 over negative 5, which is 2 over 5. So this is equal, this is not equal. This will give me parallel lines, means inconsistent. Now, we found this one as consistent and this one as consistent. Let's plot both of them into the graph and get the solution. To put these equations into the graph, what we need is, this is x plus y is equal to 5. So y would be 5 minus x. That's my first equation. Second is 2x plus 2y equals to 10. Let's take 2 as common. So x plus y equals to 10. X plus y will be 10 over 2, which is 5. So y would be 5 minus x. Second equation. Both the equations are same, so we know what the result is. This will give me coincident lines, means infinitely many solutions. X may take any value. Let's do the same thing with this equation also. This is 2x plus y is equal to 6. So y would be 6 minus 2x. That's the first equation. Second is 4x minus 2y equals to 4. Let's take 2 as common. So this will be 2x minus y equals to 4. 2x minus y equals to 2. 4 over 2. So negative y would be 2 minus 2x. So y would be 2x minus 2. That's my second equation. Now let's put them into the graph. X plus y is equal to 5. X plus y is equal to 5, which gives me y is equal to 5 minus x. Y is equal to 5 minus x. Let's take some x values. I'll start with 0. Let's take till 5. These are my x values. Let's put them here to get y1. So from these x values, I have these y1. You can see the line. And then let's plot the same x values into this same equation. These are my y2 values. Now you can see when I do not have these values here, I have this blue line here. The moment I get these y2 also, the orange line comes over the blue line. Since these two lines are coincident lines, means superimposing each other, this equation, these two equations will have infinitely many solutions because both of them are same. This one here gave me coincident lines, means infinite many solutions. Let's take some x values here. These are my x values. Let's put these x values into this equation here and get y1. These are my y1 values from these x values. Let's replace these x values here from x in this equation. This one here, the orange one representing y2, blue one representing y1. Both the lines are cutting at this point, which is 2. X is 2 and y is also 2. Since they are intersecting lines, they will give me unique solution, and the unique solution is point of intersection, means coordinate 2, 2. X is 2, y is 2. This one here, intersecting lines, and point of intersection was, I'll write point of intersection x comma y was 2 comma 2, means x2 and y2. Solution is x is 2 and y is also 2. All done? Alright. This question here, it says, half the perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is 4 meters more than its width is 36 meters. Means half of perimeter of this rectangular garden is 36 meters and its length is 4 meters more than its width. Find the dimensions of the garden. I'll write like this. Half perimeter is 36 meters. So full perimeter would be 36 into 2, which is 72 meters. Now, suppose width is x meters. So length would be, it says length is 4 meters more than its width. If width is x, length would be x plus 4. Now I have width, I have length, I have perimeter. This is a rectangular garden like this. Perimeter is sum of all the sides, this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. Since this is rectangular, opposite sides would be equal. This would be equal to this, and this would be equal to this. Means I'll write like this. Perimeter is 2 into width plus 2 into length. Width, width, length, length. Perimeter is 72. 2 into width means 2 into x, width is x, plus 2 into length, length is x plus 4, x plus 4. 72 will be equal to 2x plus 2x plus 8. 72 minus 8 would be 4x. 72 minus 8 gives you 64 is equal to 4x. So x would be 64 over 4, which is 16. X is 16 meters and x is width, so width would be 16 meters. Length would be x plus 4, 16 plus 4, 20 meters. Width is 16, length is 20. If you put them together, 16 plus 20 is 36. That's what it is telling. Half of perimeter is 36. 36 into 2, 72. 72 is here. So width is 16 and length is 20 meters. Done? This question here, it says, given the linear equation 2x plus 3y minus 8 is equal to 0, write another linear equations in two variables such that the geometrical representation of the pair so formed is intersecting, parallel, and coincident. Means we have to write three equations. When they pair up with this given equation, then those pairs should give intersecting, parallel, and coincident lines. So our equation here is 2x plus 3y minus 8 equals to 0, where a1 is 2, b1 is 3, and c1 is negative 8. Let's take up intersecting lines first. For intersecting lines, the condition to fulfill is a1 over a2 should not be equal to b1 over b2. Here we know a1 is 2 over a2, not equal to b1 over b2. b1 is 3 over b2. Now, there can be n number of solutions for this. For example, if I take a2 as say 5, then any number as b2 like 4. 2 over 5 is not equal to 3 over 4. This is intersecting lines. 2 over 3 not equal to 3 over 5. Likewise, there can be hundreds of equations, thousands of equations you can write down where a1 over a2 is not equal to b1 over b2. So if I take up this one here, where my coefficient with x is 3 and coefficient with y is 5, my equation can be 3x plus 5y. I can take any value for c2. For example, it is say 9. So let's take minus 9 or plus 9, whatever, equals to 0. Now this equation here where a2 is 3, b2 is 5, and C2 is negative 9. I don't need to concentrate on C1 and C2 because I'm talking about intersecting lines. Here, A1 over A2 is 2 over 3. B1 over B2 is 3 over 5. Not equal. So this gives me intersecting lines. Let's talk about parallel lines now. Same equation, 2x plus 3y minus 8 equals to 0. A1 is 2, B1 is 3, C1 is negative 8. For parallel lines, what I need is A1 over A2 equals to B1 over B2 but not equal to C1 over C2. Here my A1 is 2 over A2, B1 is 3 over B2, C1 is negative 8. I have to find out C2 here. Now, to equate 2 over A2 equal to 3 over B2, if I write 2 over 6 and this I write 3 over 9, this will give me 1 over 3 equal to 1 over 3. So A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2. To make it not equal to C1 over C2, I have C1 is negative 8. If I write C2 as say 5 or 3 or 2 or anything which does not give me 1 over 3 will not be equal to A1 over A2 and B1 over B2. So this equation here, where A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2 but not equal to C1 over C2, will give me parallel lines. So my x coefficient is 3, y coefficient is also 3. So I'll write 2x plus 3y, my C2 is 5 plus 5 equals to 0. A2 is 2, B2 is 3 and C2 is 5. This will give me A1 over A2 equal to B1 over B2 but not equal to C1 over C2. So this is the equation here. 2x plus 3y plus 5 equals to 0. Likewise, you can write many other equations which will give you A1 over A2 equal to B1 over B2 not equal to C1 over C2, pairing up with this one. Now let's look into coincident lines. Same equation, 2x plus 3y minus 8 equal to 0. A1 is 2, B1 is 3, C1 is negative 8. For coincident lines, I need A1 over A2 equal to B1 over B2 equal to C1 over C2. The easiest way is, let's multiply this equation with any number. Let's say 2. So this will give me 4x plus 6y minus 16 equals to 0. Means A2 is 4, B2 is 6 and C2 is negative 16. So A1 over A2 will be 2 over 4, B1 over B2 3 over 6, C1 over C2 negative 8 over negative 16. So all are 1 over 2 equal to 1 over 2 equal to 1 over 2. All are equal. So this will give me coincident lines. So x coefficient 4, y coefficient 6 and C2 negative 16. So I'll write 4x plus 6y minus 16 equals to 0. So that's the equation here. Pairing up with this one will give me coincident lines. Likewise, you can write many equations which will support this. Alright. Now this question here, it says, draw the graphs of the equations x minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0 and 3x plus 2y minus 12 equal to 0. Determine the coordinates of the vertices of the triangle formed by these lines and the x-axis and shade the triangular region. Means from this equation and this equation we get two lines. From those two lines and the x-axis there would be a triangular formed. We have to find out the vertices of the triangle and then we have to shade that triangular region. In this question we have to see to it, it says triangle formed by these two lines and x-axis. Okay, x minus y plus 1 equals to 0 means x minus y equals to minus 1. So negative y is negative 1, negative x. So y is equal to x plus 1. That's my first equation. 3x plus 2y minus 12 equals to 0 means 3x plus 2y equals to 12. 2y equals to 12 minus 3x. So y would be 12 minus 3x over 2. Now going back here, triangle formed by these lines and x-axis. Now suppose this is my graph and these two lines are like this, for example. So this is the triangle formed by these two lines and this x-axis. The shaded region is a triangle. Now when these two lines cut x-axis at whichever point, at that point y would be 0. Here y would be 0, here y would be 0. Means in both these equations I need y as 0. So if I put y as 0, it will give me x value. So if I put y as 0, this would be x plus 1. So x would be negative 1 and y would be 0. If I put y as 0, this would be 12 minus 3x over 2 means 12 minus 3x is equal to 2 into 0 is 0. So negative 3x is negative 12, negative negative cancels, x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 0. Means I have x as negative 1 and x as 0 where y is 0 and y is 0. Now keeping this in mind, if I plot my equation, both the lines will definitely cut x-axis because I have taken y as 0, y is 0. In this case, when y is 0, x is negative 1. In this case, when y is 0, x is 4. So we will compulsorily take x as negative 1 and x as 4. Now let's plot them into the graph. X minus y is equal to negative 1, which gave me y is equal to x plus 1, and this one y is equal to 12 minus 3x over 2. Let's take some x values. X values, as I said, I have to take x as negative 1 because that will give me y as 0 for this equation, and then I have to take x as 4, which will give me y as 0 for this equation. So let's take x as negative 1 and 4. So these two values I have taken. Third value I can take, say 5. Fourth value is say 3. Now putting negative 1 into this will give me y as 0. Let's plot 4, 5 and 3 also. So I have all these values here. From these x values I have these y1 values. Give me this line here. We can see this line is intersecting x-axis at negative 1. When x is negative 1, y is 0. X is negative 1 here and y is 0. Let's find out y2 from these x values. These are my y2 values from these x values. You can see when x is 4, y2 is 0. This orange line here representing y2. When x is 4, y2 is 0. Now, the triangle which is this here, made by these two lines and x-axis, is this triangle here. If I shade this region here, I have shaded this region here. You can see it's a triangle here made by these two lines and x-axis. Now, vertices, this point, and this point. This point here or this vertex here is x is negative 1, y is 0. X is negative 1, y is 0. This point here, x is 4 and y is 0. X is 4, y is 0. And the third point here, where the point of intersection is x is 2 and y is 3. So right here, vertices of triangle, negative 1, 0, x is negative 1, y is 0. Second is x is 4, y is 0. And third is the point of intersection, x is 2 and y is 3. So these are the three vertices of the triangle, and this 2, 3 is the point of intersection. I'll write x, y as point of intersection. These three are the vertices where this is the point of intersection, and this is the triangle from the shaded region. Alright.